And welcome back to Behind the Mitten. John Gonzalez along with Amy Sherman, having a great time as we always do. And Amy, now you know what? We're in a kind of a new but familiar place as well.
Well, we always like to take our listeners across the state, visiting new places, and I'm super excited about this one because this is a place we have not been to on Behind the Mitten, which seems kind of crazy to me. I had my best friend in 4th grade, Lynn Charette. She moved here when I was in 4th grade, and it was kind of a blow to my psyche, I'm not going to lie, because I loved Lynn. I still do. We're still friends, but she moved here with her family. And I'd never been here before. We are in beautiful Howell, Michigan. And once I got here, I kind of understood why her parents maybe moved here. It's a beautiful downtown, kind of historical, smaller, outside of Detroit. You're within, you could commute to either Lansing or Detroit from Howell. Or Ann
Arbor even, yeah.
Or Ann Arbor, so it's kind of centrally located, which is great. But I always had a little bit of a chip on my back with Howell, I'm not going to lie, because it took my Lynn away from me.
Well, you and I stopped here just a couple weeks ago, and we were like... because our friend Jessica Shepard had written about a place that's right downtown, so we thought we'd check it out, right?
Right.
And then you were like going, what the heck's over there?
Well, we're walking down the street, and I'm like, what is that great big A? And then I have to say, another friend of mine had said she had come here, Sherry from Michigan Brewers Guild, said she had stopped by here, and I didn't realize that the A stood for Aberrant Ales, which stood for the brewery that she came to visit, and that she actually spoke very highly of, even though they had just opened up, which is rare in the brewing community, that somebody's got some really great beers when they first opened up. So I'm happy to say that Adam Stout is here with us from Aberrant Ales in Howell, Michigan, and that your beers are kind of nailing it right now, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for coming by. We're happy to be open and operational now. So
you're beyond operational. You're actually brewing beers that taste delicious right out of the box. How is that happening?
Well, that's the plan, hopefully, if we don't screw up. But yeah, I'm not new to the brewing industry.
But you're new to the Michigan brewing industry.
I am new to the
you
Michigan
got your
industry.
kind of base in Colorado.
Yeah, so that's where I started. I've been brewed for about 4 years now or so. I used to be an organic chemist in the biotech world, and made a
that wasn't fulfilling you?
for a limited amount of time,
but it gave you a good basis in science.
That it did. Yes, all those homebrew competitions trained me for that. But so I made the jump. I had some friends who wanted to open a brewery in Colorado, so I came on board to help them with the build out and start it going. We're called Nighthawk Brewery, and tiny little place out in Broomfield. As I affectionately refer to as a ghetto brewery now, because we...
In Colorado.
Oh, yeah, we
Boy, you know you're in Michigan now. We have actual ghettos, right?
Oh, you would be surprised that there's a whole movement out there where you'd buy used dairy equipment and repurpose everything and MacGyver the crap out of it to build a brewery. And we were definitely a MacGyver brewery, but we made it work.
I think it's kind of the best brewery.
Yeah, it's a good way to learn because you find problems really quickly and have to solve a lot of them. But my wife was in residency at CU Med School out there, and for fellowship, she wanted to come out to U of M, so we ended up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and that's where we live with our son right now. I was working at Roke initially when we came out here.
In Royal Oak, yep.
Yep, as the lead brewer with Brandon, who taught me a ton. And then I started talking to Clark when I heard rumor that this place was going to open.
Clark is the owner
here? Yes, Clark is the owner of Aberrant Ales. He's a homebrewer enthusiastic extraordinaire who decided to open a brewery too. So
why did he pick Howell?
They are from Howell, so they've got roots here. So this is very much a hometown give back to the community venture.
And this is one of the only breweries here, right?
Yes, I believe it's us, Eternity, and Block Brewing. So
that's right. Block is out here. That's right by the highway, right?
Yes, right off the highway. So.
But so Clark picked here to be, and what I love is that you're right downtown.
Yes, we're right off the main strip. I believe this is the west end of the street.
There's a west end of Howell?
There are no mountains out here, I don't know directions.
I'm calling Lynn and asking her if that's correct. I'm not sure, but...
But what did you think about Michigan? What did you think about this town?
Oh, I love it out here. This is a quaint little town. Reminds me of some of the smaller towns I know in Colorado. Me and my wife love Michigan. It's got a lot to love here, and there's not a bajillion people, which is fantastic. So
Are there a bajillion people in Colorado?
Oh, there's beyond a bajillion people anymore.
Oh. But how does the beer scene here in Michigan compare to that in Colorado?
So
It surpasses.
They are two different animals.
Interesting.
And it very much took me by surprise when we moved out here. Colorado is very much into the pushing the boundaries IPA game and the sour scene. And I moved out here, and I wasn't prepared for the super high alcohol scene because the bourbon barrel aging out here is just fantastic. If you want a big bourbon barrel aged beer, this is the state to definitely come to and look for it. And the IPA game out here is a lot stronger than I had initially expected it to be, especially the New England IPAs. The state has a pretty good choice of New England IPAs out here. So they're slightly different animals, as you would expect from coast to coast. Everything changes.
Oh, it certainly does.
Yes.
So are you happy to be here?
Oh, I love it here. So we are very happy. We're actually looking at buying a house in Ann Arbor right now.
Oh,
so.
Commitment, baby. Commitment. We like that.
So tell us, Adam, here at Aberrant Ales, tell us about how big of a system you're brewing on and what people can expect from your beers.
Yeah, so we're brewing on a 10-barrel system here. So that'd be about 310 gallons per batch for those who don't know what a barrel is. It's hard to explain my take on beers. I'm very much a balanced person. I don't like to stray too far into the crazy amounts of hoppiness or too far into the malty aspect of things. I like beers to stay balanced throughout.
And we're laughing because Gonzo is pointing at me the whole time because what do I say all the time?
Yeah,
you got to be fucking
balanced.
balanced.
Yeah, well,
Balanced.
Balanced. Yeah, we love the beers to be balanced, but that's what you noted about when we came here a few weeks ago. You said, "Oh my gosh, all the beers we tried were so well balanced."
They were, and they were pretty spot on. I didn't have any beer. And I don't say this lightly, but it is so true. I'm sorry to say it, but it is true in Michigan that when a lot of breweries open, they have to dial into the system that they're on. And we have a lot of guys who are home brewers who are coming off a 5-gallon system, and suddenly they're on a 10-gallon system, and they don't know what they're doing. And so it takes time for them to dial in. The fact that we came here, you were maybe 3 weeks opened, and your beers were dialed in, and they tasted good. Mm-hmm. It was really impressive to me, and not necessarily the norm. It should be the norm, and I think it has to become the norm in Michigan if these breweries want to succeed. But you guys were right on top of it right at the beginning.
Yeah, I think a lot of places discount how much the cellar side of brewing is important. It's not hard to make wort. It's hard to keep yeast happy to make
It
wort.
is hard.
It's a
Damn
good
it.
beer.
That yeast is it's fickle. It's a fickle creature, much like a woman. What can I say?
Oh, let's not even go there.
All right, we got to get to beer of the week.
Dangerous territory.
We have to get to beer
I saw
of the
some
week.
food
here.
is out here too.
Oh, I didn't even see.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to beer of the week.
Okay.
Adam Stout from Aberrant Ales here in Howell, Michigan. What is our pick for beer of the week?
Well, I'm going to go with our West Coast IPA just because every brewery has to have an IPA anymore.
concur.
It is required.
Okay, but this IPA is pretty great.
Yeah.
The minute I put it in my mouth, I was like, what?
So I don't know how many listeners are going to be familiar with the term biotransformation.
Probably none, so tell us what it is.
Me neither.
So it's the idea, not so much an idea, but it's documented on certain yeast strains that they can take the compounds from the hops during active fermentation and transform them into other compounds that have slightly different flavors to them.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
This sounds like science fiction, my friend.
It's a method of dry hopping that I use with most of my dry hop beers, but you dry hop during active fermentation, so you get usually a much more pronounced fruit profile out of them. And the West Coast definitely shows it. It's got a big tropical fruit presence to it with a little bit of piney dankness on the back ends of it.
Oh, that's a good description.
Yeah.
It's got a big mouthfeel. I mean, even though this is a regular IPA, it's not a double or anything. It almost drinks like a double, I think. Like, it's so many things going on in the flavor profile of this one.
Yeah, I'm a big user of English-style grains, so your Maris Otters, your Golden Promises, stuff
You already
like
have a big
that,
backbone
so.
before you even add the
Yes,
hops.
I very much like some backbone in my IPAs. I don't think they should just be all hop juice all the time. So
I love
Amen,
it.
yeah.
All right, that's our pick for Beer of the Week from Aberrant Ales here in Howell, Michigan. Adam Stout picked the West Coast IPA. It's pretty fantastic. John, what other events are happening around the state? And I know, Adam, you have one coming up, too, here at Aberrant Ales, right?
Yes, we're going to kick off our inaugural Cornhole League here.
Cornholio.
Yes.
When is that going to kick off?
January 23rd through March 20th is when it's going to run, and sign-up deadline is January 21st. You can go to our website, www.aberrantales.com, and if you go to the events page, there is a link right there to get your team signed up.
That's perfect. That sounds like a great time. Anything else, John, people need to be aware of?
Kalamazoo Beer Week, January 13th through 21st.
Always a great time.
KalamazooBeerWeek.com. Ann Arbor Restaurant Week, AnnArborRestaurantWeek.com for more info. And the Tower of Power, January 17th at the Forest Hills Fine Arts Center.
Tower of Power. Those guys were fantastic on our show.
Great
Remember that?
show,
That was
yep.
great. All right, well, Aberrant Ales, thank you so much for allowing us to come over here and experience your incredible beer, including Beer of the Week, West Coast IPA. Everyone come over here and visit you guys and get all the information at aberrantales.com, right?
Yep, that's the place to go to. And thank you guys for coming by and hosting the show here. We really enjoy this. And
It was our pleasure.
Looking forward to lots of thirsty people coming by.
Awesome. All right, John, where are we going to be next week?
We don't know.
But stay tuned to Behind the Mitten to find out.
Hey, this is Adam Stout from Aberrant Ales in Howell, Michigan. You can get more information about all of our beers at www.aberrantales.com. And I'd like to give a shout out to Behind the Mitten.